So this has been a wonderful, informative discussion. I really want to thank all of you. Before we close, how about some final closing thoughts from each of you, and let's start with Roy.
Well, it's certainly been an exciting year. The evolution of lung cancer therapy truly is progressing. It's certainly the targeted therapy era is as strong as ever with the next generation of EGFR and ALK agents. We have our challenge ahead of us as we try to figure out what to do for resistance in those patients, but it's a good problem to have. And then immunotherapy really has taken over as the other alternative for patients without drivers. I would contest that we're going to have to figure out how to integrate that into some of those patients with driver mutations in the future. But really, it's a good era now to do trials. We're seeing benefit. It's sort of, as you think about things, the perfect time to do thoracic research, because we're seeing benefit in patients. I think we all probably have patients who are alive today that wouldn't have been before because they've received immunotherapy either up front or in the second or third line setting. And now the challenge is for the 70% who really aren't, or 80% who aren't benefiting as much as we'd like, how are we going to help them? And that's going to be through combinations. It's going to be through some clinical trials, some science, working with the immunologists and the preclinical scientists to bring some of these new combinations together, working with industry. The lung map that we talked about today is an example of a public-private partnership, collaboration among cooperative groups, among NCI, among FNIH, with industry, with a patient as our ultimate goal.
Fred.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with Roy. I would like to make a couple of other points. Scientific achievements and progress in treatment results comes through clinical trials, and unfortunately, still, particularly in United States, we have quite a low recruitment of patients to clinical trials. And I would like to see a jump of that recruitment rate to clinical trials. I would like to see much more patients going into clinical trials. I think also there are figures that clinical trials many clinical trials are concentrated in a few states. I think we need to make a push to bring clinical trials out to communities and areas where the bulk of patients occur. And those two things are, of course, something we in ISLC is currently working on. But we need to make it clear that clinical progress, therapeutic progress, comes through clinical trials, and patients we should offer clinical trials to more patients.
Great. Ram?
I would say I would agree with the others that this is an exciting time. We've just seen all the new data at ESMO 2017, and two trials that stand out to me are the Pacific trial and the Flora trial. The Pacific trial, I think, introduces a new exciting advance into stage 3 disease, and we're going to be talking a lot about that in the incoming months, and I think our patients are going to be better off because of these advances. And I look forward to seeing the results of the chemo plus immune checkpoint inhibitor trials in the upcoming months as the next potential important step forward.
Great. And Naiyer?
I think it was a great discussion. I think we now have 5-year data with PD-1s showing a little more than 15% response rate. We even say the word cure from time to time, and for a patient with metastatic disease, and so we never could have whispered that before. And I think that seeing all of these advances in advanced stage as well as locally advanced early stage disease, I'm certainly confident that we're going to keep keep curing more patients.
Yeah, I agree. It's a really exciting time, and just hearing this week FLORA and the Pacific trials were very exciting. I think also the evolution of ALK therapy, where you go from a target discovered just about 10 years ago to now, not one drug or two, but multiple agents. Each one seems to be getting a little bit better than the one before, is very exciting and supporting your concept that clinical trials are necessary for us to make progress. So I want to thank all of you for your contributions to this discussion, and on behalf of our panel, thank you for joining us, and we hope you found this peer exchange discussion to be useful and informative.